Hello peeps and welcome back. In today's video I thought I would do a bit of a commentary for the time lapse of the Mercy painting, mostly because I find those kinds of videos where the artist tells what they're doing and why they're doing it to be really interesting and helpful at the same time. So I thought maybe you would be interested in hearing what I thought and processed whilst I was painting Mercy. Let me know what you guys think. If you really hate it, you can always turn off the volume and put on some music from Spotify or YouTube if you like. But otherwise, let's get into it. The sketching part was quite straightforward, as I knew what I wanted to do from the beginning. I didn't do any sketch jumps or really spend too much time thinking about it. However, the colour scheme or finding the real colours of what I wanted to do with the lighting and that sort of thing took a little while to work out, because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted. I kind of had this idea that I wanted it to be pretty yellow-ish and have the main light source behind Mercy to create this kind of dramatic atmosphere around her, even though I wanted it to be calm, kind of calm in a way, but still a bit dramatic. I wasn't sure about the setting, except I wanted it to be sunset or sunrise, and I was thinking about battlefields and that sort of thing, or the aftermath of a battle. Here I was looking for the right kind of balance between the light coming from behind and the shadow that it creates on the character. Unfortunately here my computer crashed again. I know I'm working on the problem, I'm really sorry guys. But yeah, you didn't miss too much. I've just started to paint the face. It didn't take me too much time, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Even at this point, I thought she looked really young and really kind of cute. A bit swollen, tiny bit in my opinion. And I decided that yeah, I'm going to work on it just a bit later when I kind of find the right colour balance and contrast and that sort of thing, so I can tweak it afterwards. Here I'm just continuing adding the details. I like to finish up the parts that I think are very difficult for me so that I know that the painting is going to work out in the end, because it might be a fiasco and I just might give up on it if it doesn't work out. And one of those parts that really has to look good is the face, which is obviously the focal point of the whole painting, and also the areas around the face, because that's the stuff that you're going to look at straight after the face. I spent quite some time trying to find the right colour for Mercy's outfit. I mean, it is supposed to be white, or a tiny little bit greyish white, I suppose. At the time I thought this looks white to me, and it might read white to everyone who knows Mercy because they know that her outfit is supposed to be white. But when I showed this picture to my mom and I asked her, you know, what do you think that colour is that is on her it's not a costume, but it's not even armour, what is it? But you know what I'm talking about, that thing she's wearing. And she said that, yeah, it's obviously very nice metallic grey and light grey. I was like, thank you, Ma. Excellent. What a mistake. But oh well, I hope that everyone reads it as white. It actually looks very, very metallic grey, to be honest, in the finished piece. Oh well, we'll work on it next round. And here I went back to the face. I used Liquify tool to move the eyes higher a bit, and otherwise to make it look the way I wanted it to look. It looks a bit older now and a little less like a doll. This is the first time I've painted a portrait that, or a picture in general, that has such a strong light source behind the character, which means that it's going to mute most of the colours used on the character, because it's all in shadow really. I did use a secondary light source for her face and overall the figure just to make it pop out, but it's very, very subtle compared to the sun behind Mercy. After you've painted a picture for a while and you've been looking at it for quite some time, you can get very blind to the mistakes that you've made, and you might know that there's something wrong, but you just don't know what it is. What I like to do is, if I draw traditionally, I take the picture and walk in front of a mirror and look at the picture in the mirror When you turn around the picture, it's a lot easier to see the mistakes. You can see it with brand new eyes, really, and that's what I do with digital stuff too. Except that I've rotated horizontally. That way you can see or spot your mistakes very easily. I really like to paint hair these days. It used to be very hard for me for some reason, but nowadays I really enjoy it. Mostly because you can do whatever you want with the hair, use your imagination and make it do your bidding in a way. It can be hard, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not necessarily easy, and I have to work on it for quite some time too to make it look good. But it pays off in the end. The key is not to draw every hair separately, but sort of think about it as one unit kind of thing. Even though it's not like that. I very rarely, and when I say very rarely, I mean almost never, draw armor or any kind of mechanical stuff. I find it very, very hard. I think it looks great, and I'm really jealous of people who can draw like beautiful armor and mechanics and that sort of stuff. I think it looks really cool, but it's very, very hard for me. And the wings took forever. First of all, it took me forever to work out how they work. I mean, I used so many reference pictures from the original reference sheets for Mercy to other fan art. It was like, how do you draw these things? How do the wings work? And yeah, it was very much a trial and error kind of thing. But I think they look pretty good at the end. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not nowhere near perfect, but you know, they look reasonably good, at least in my opinion. Before I started to add up the finishing touches to the staff, I was thinking about making the beam yellow, but then I thought that, you know what, it really needed more blue. Like there are those little tiny details in her suit that are blue, and I was like thinking that it's way too minor detail to be the only blue thing, and why would someone want to look those two squares on her suit? Like, what's there to see? Nothing. So what I did, I added the blue into her staff as a way to balance out the only blue things. And later on, at the very near the end, I remembered that her eyes are actually blue and not brown, as I for some reason thought. So yeah, I added blue into her eyes too. It's very, very subtle blue. I mean, you can barely see that they're blue, but you know, they're still there. And all in all, the painting hasn't changed too much from the sketch, excluding her face. Like, Mercy's face turned out to be very, very different than in the sketch. Like, she looks very tired and even more cartoony in the sketching phase. But I really like the end result. I think she looks really pretty in this picture, and I'm really proud of myself. I mean, she doesn't look at all like the in-game Mercy. But you know, I don't think it really needs to. And here come the burning feathers. So, like I said in the beginning, I was thinking about the aftermath of a battle scene or a battleground. And at first these were supposed to be like pieces of fire and that sort of stuff. But then I saw another piece of fan art. It has this Mercy, I remember, and she was kind of either looking or blowing at this really, really bright white glowing feather. I thought, like, you know what, those feathers are really cool, and I'm gonna add them into my artwork too. And so I decided to put them over there, and the feathers help to create a calm atmosphere to the picture. I wanted it to look a bit sad and pathetic in a way. So yeah, I really liked how this turned out. I was really proud of myself. I mean, I've studied colour theory before, but I sort of recently have been getting back into it and trying to implement the knowledge that I actually have to my artwork. And this was one of those times when I felt like I've learned something and I can now use it, which is really great. I hope you maybe learned or you know, got inspired with this commentary. I don't know if this was helpful at all, but I had a great time doing it, so I hope you really liked it. If you did, please leave a comment down below. I might do it again if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, you can also leave a comment down below. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.